Oh, that's not what I wanted. Huh. Well, it decided to just go live today. Oops. Anyway, guys, the intro it didn't work. I don't know what happened with StreamYard today. It looks like it's going to be one of those weekends. But anyway, we have return guest Bunny Kitten Builds is on this week. She asked to do this, so I'm kind of curious to see where the conversation's going. I know what some of it's going to be about. It's going to be about For Models for Heroes. It is an organization out of the UK that is, I'll let her explain more of it. But I got introduced to it from Luke from Black Rifle Model Works. So that's how I know about it. But it's a great organization. Well, I think there's a link in the description, and we'll get started. All right. What's going on? How's it going, Amy?
Hi, nice to see you.
So the big reason you asked for this time slot is you're getting ready to go to the UK for what?
So every couple of months or so anyways, I typically travel to the UK anyways. And typically while I'm there, I usually visit a couple of model shops, and I usually do a live stream build with my partners, Steam Geezer and Sun Independent Traders, which is a really, really long name. So I'm going to shorten it to Steam Geezer. But he's the one that got me, really kind of gave me the push into model building. So all of this is his fault. But we did, normally when we do our live streams, we just kind of build a snap together kit and we call it a day, and we live stream it on his YouTube channel. But this time around, I kind of wanted to do something a little more. So I suggested to him that we do a fundraiser. And one of the more well-known to me, and definitely to him, organizations is Models for Heroes, which, like you said, is a UK-based organization. And I don't know about you, but I know for me, model building helps me with things like my depression, ADHD, anxiety, because it gives you that opportunity to just kind of push everything in your life aside and just kind of zone and focus on something and kind of make that your world for a little while. And when I decided to do the fundraiser, we picked a kit that we thought was going to be great. And again, it is a easy to build, very, it's not exactly labor intensive in that it requires a lot of tools. It actually gives you all the tools you need in the kit, which is kind of cool. But basically what Models for Heroes does is it raises money and provides model kits and building supplies to various members of the UK Armed Forces, UK Armed Forces veterans, as well as emergency responders. So your EMTs, police, firefighters, because if you've served in the military or been an emergency responder, you know it is not exactly a relaxing career to have. It's definitely high stress. It is definitely something that you can get really worked up over. And, you know, I have friends that are, you know, even policemen, former policemen, you know, and they've seen things. And you don't normally leave those types of careers unscathed. So this organization helps to combat, actually, I should say promote better mental health through models. So my goal is to raise $1,000 for Models for Heroes, which should be able to donate a lot of kits and a lot of supplies to a lot of people who may need them. And what we're going to do is we're going to do our live stream build. I believe it's going to be January 28th. I haven't actually announced this yet, so I'm announcing it here. January 28th, the time to be determined. It depends on how much I sleep in that day. And what we're doing is to thank people for their donations. For every $10 or £10 or €10 that you donate to our fundraiser, you will be entered to win one of two prizes. One of them being the actual kit that we build during the live stream, which Steam Geezer and I will sign. The second one is the unbuilt kit that you can win, which I think normally retails for like $60, $70, depending on where you buy it from. But for every $10 donation, you get a chance to win that. So we'll do a live drawing after the live stream, and we'll announce the winners. And fingers crossed, for anyone that donates, hopefully you win. But there's only two prizes, so some of you will win. But it is an amazing organization. I am hoping that, because I will admit I did get some pushback from some people, being an American raising money for a UK-based organization. However, my response has been, find me an American-based organization that does the same thing, and I will go ahead and start my fundraiser right now. But I think that mental health affects everybody, no matter where you are. So I think it is still a good cause. And I think it is something that we can still contribute to, and to thank those who, selflessly give their time and their lives to help others. It's a really long answer, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You should take a drink of water, because, right?
Okay. So yeah, thanks for having me. I'm out. No, I'm kidding. So the kit that I actually have a copy of or not a copy, but I have the kit here that we're going to be building. This is, I got to put it over here. That's a mirror thing. Okay. So this is I think the company's name is Roker, ROKR. It says it right there on the little thingy thing. It's called a Scout Beetle, and it actually has some mechanical parts to it, and it lights up and things like that. It's got a little switch. It is battery powered. But it's got a little power switch, and then you press a little gold button there, and it does some really cool little things. Obviously, the wings flap, the lights go, there's some gears and things that spin. But it took me about 2 hours to build this, and I loved it so much I want to build another one. So this was kind of my excuse to build another one and do it for a good cause. So I have the kit we're going to build already packed in my suitcase, and I'll be ordering a second one for whoever wins the raffle prize. But we're going to build one of these because, again, we're working off of a very tiny space, and we kind of have to smush together on a couch to kind of sit there and build on this awkward shaped triangular table. So we can't really get into anything too crazy. But this kit is a lot of fun. It has a ton of little pieces to it. There is some... it's mostly snapped together. There are some screws and some other little things that you'll need to do to assemble it, and obviously some electronics, but it's all very, very simple, and they make the kit very easy to build, but it is a lot of fun. So someone will be winning one of these, which I'm excited about. And I might have to buy another one for myself when this is all over. I'll have a whole sea of them, and then I'll line them all up and press all the buttons so they all flap at the same time.
That's cool.
Yes.
So the first question I have is, are you going to have a link for me to put in the description so people know how to get a hold of you?
Yes.
You can put it in the chat. You can.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can do that right now, actually. Do I just put it in a little private chat thingy thing?
Yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second.
And then I'll put that bet in the description when we're done. But
yeah. Yep. So it's through Just Giving, which is a website that's designed to raise money for charities. Models for Heroes is actually registered through their website, so it made it super easy. So the money that we are putting into the website, into this link that I just posted, goes straight to Models for Heroes. Which makes me really excited, because it's just, when we close the fundraiser, they get the money, and then we start another fundraiser at some point. But I also liked it because it is happy to accept donations from anywhere in the world. It makes it very, very simple. We do have a couple of donations already from the UK. We have another one from somewhere in Europe. I'm not sure where. And then we have a bunch of donations from folks here in the US, which I'm very grateful for. So it's a cool little website. I like to make things very easy for people. And yeah, so feel free to go to that link if you'd like to make a donation. I would appreciate it. And like I said, I think I'm just under 30% of my way to the goal of $1,000, which might have been a little too ambitious. I will admit, I was kind of excited. And I'm like, I'm going to raise $1,000. And it would be cool if I get it in the next week. But if not, just the generosity of the folks who have donated still makes me a happy little Amy. So I kind of do my dance. So thank you.
Well, I mean that's awesome that you're going now. You're what is possessed you to travel to UK to build a model? There's a good story here that I really want to hear.
Well, it's also, to go see Steam Geezer. He's an amazing friend to me. I do have other friends over there as well, but also England has always been my happy place. I have been a self-proclaimed Anglophile since I was a teenager. I blame the Beatles for that, but I just became obsessed with England. And it took I went for the first time when I was in high school in band. I was a drummer, fun fact. And I had gone ahead and gone to England with our marching band. We marched in the New Year's parade. It was freezing cold. And I just loved it. And I finally was able to get the opportunity to travel again about 1.5 years ago. And I had so much fun. And I'm like, I want to see more of this place. So we're usually in London for maybe a day or so. We sightsee kind of outside of London because London's really expensive. So, and I apologize for the coughing. For those of you who don't know, my husband was kind enough to give me COVID for Christmas. That was his present to me. So the only thing that I have left now is just a cough, which has not gone away yet. But we'll be going there for that. While I'm there this time around, I also typically do a model builder meetup with some UK builders for one of the groups that I admin on Facebook that is UK based. So we usually do a meetup at a pub because why not? I'm also going to be, I'm going to be going into London to visit a bar called Alcatraz, which is one of my favorite places to go when I'm there. It's an interactive theater kind of experience with alcohol. And it's Alcatraz themed, so it's prison themed, and your party goes into, basically you have your own little cell and you watch this whole play and you're involved in it too, if you want to be, and it's a lot of fun. So I'll be there. I'll actually be playing a part in that show. I think might be one show, might be a few more than that, but I'll actually have a part. So I'll be acting, which will be fun. And then just kind of just enjoying some time away. I work a lot. If as you might have seen from my YouTube channel, I don't post videos as often as I'd like to, but that's because I'm working a lot. so yeah, but when I go over there, I figure, if I'm with the person who pushed me into model building, why not build something? He's pretty much my mentor. So it's kind of like, it would make sense to build something fun. And we started building things and recording them. And then I kind of gave him the nudge to go, maybe we should do a live stream. And he didn't want to do one at first. And I said, why not? It's a lot of fun and people can interact with you while you're building. And he finally agreed. And after it was all done, he's like, oh, that was a lot of fun. I said, I know, it is a lot of fun. So this time around, I want to do a live stream for more than just entertainment purposes of, how to pronounce tomato versus tomato, because we typically get on that topic at some point. So
the last build you did was what? The Sega something, right?
We did the Sega Saturn, but we did the Millennium Falcon after that. Okay. We had done the whole Bandai Best Hit Chronicle series, which was only 3 model kits. It was the cup noodle model kit, which is still my favorite. The original PlayStation, which really is only about this big when it's all said and done. It's like, I don't know, 5 inches wide, 6 inches wide. It's this little teeny tiny thing. And then we did the Sega Saturn. Then, since we ran out of model kits because that series was over, we decided to stick with our geek side, and we did the Millennium Falcon, which one of my model builder friends over in the UK, Ian, apparently he has built that kit and he detailed it up beautifully. So he got to show us when it was all done what his looks like, because ours was just the plain kit. We didn't detail it or anything like that. But they're still fun kits. I think Bandai does some great snap together kits that are a little out of the ordinary. But this time around, we decided to go with something a little more mechanical, something that actually does something.
So apparently the link in the chat is not working.
Oh no!
So I'll have to put it in the description below. Or you can send it to me on Messenger.
Yeah, I'll do that. I was going to say, let me make sure I typed it right. I'm pretty sure I did, because my my typing skills are really on point today. Justgiving.com. Yeah, no, I did spell it right. Okay.
It's technology. It's technology, you know?
It is. It is. But yeah, it probably might have to go in the description. But for those of you who want to type it as I say it, it's justgiving.com/MFH Models for Heroes live build. How does my husband, how well does my husband support my hobby? It's funny because he's definitely not he's definitely not into this hobby as something that he can do. He's not exactly artistic. He's not mechanically inclined. I'm more, if you want to play gender roles, I am definitely more of the guy in the relationship. I do a lot of the house repairs and stuff like that, but that's because that's how I was raised. Both of my parents were very hands-on and very handy and crafty, so I just kind of took it from them. But he loves it. He loves the fact that I'm doing this on my own, and I have my YouTube and my Instagram and my Facebook page, and I'm adminning these groups. He's incredibly supportive. It's not necessarily his hobby, but he knows it brings me a lot of joy, and he knows that it allows me to, again, combat a lot of those things, the depression and the anxiety and things like that. So, the one thing that is a struggle for us is scheduling and allowing me the time that I really want to do it, because we do also have a small child. And if he's in his office doing his thing and I'm down here doing my thing, we've got this 8-year-old wandering around the house going, I'm bored, I have nothing to do. So we both work a lot. So I have to kind of work my hobby around things, just as he has to work his hobbies around.
Yeah, that damn adulting. It gets in the way.
No, right? Parenting and the adulting, and it's tough. It's tough, but he's absolutely supportive, and he thinks it's cool that I'm a little fish in a big pond, so to speak. So
I'm gonna say this: we need to see more of you on YouTube.
I know. I'm getting back to that. Promise, cross my heart. I am going to do that. I do have a project that I just finished up. It is all packaged and ready to go to England, and there's a reason for that. Right after Queen Elizabeth passed, there was a model kit that had a huge boom in sales, and before anyone really caught wind of it, I managed to purchase a kit and I had it shipped to Steam Geezer because it was from a UK model shop, because I couldn't find it over here. And it's the Katie. It's a World War II ambulance. And it's called Katie and the Princess. And it was before Queen Elizabeth became queen. She was just the princess. And there's a very well-known photo of her in full uniform standing next to this ambulance. And the Gecko Models made a kit of it. So I wanted to build it. I had it sent over, and the last time I was over there, I think it was the last time I was over there, which was September, I think, September, October. I looked at the kit and I was like, you know what? You're a better builder than I am. I want you to build the ambulance, and I will go ahead and build and paint the princess / queen. So that's what we did. I took the figure home, painted her, assembled her, made her look all pretty. It helped me kind of practice my skills on, 1/32 scale figures, because those are tough. I don't care what people say. Just the minor details, especially the face, is so intimidating to paint, but I did it. And so she is all set and ready to go back home. And she will be reunited with her ambulance at some point in the future. So I did film my portion of that project. And so we will be posting those videos. I think we're going to combine them together into one big video, and then we'll share it on both of our channels. So I am going to start looking into the whole YouTube Shorts thing too. I don't know how that works, but I know you have some on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to figure out how that works. But that's definitely something I want to look at doing, because shorts are much easier for me to do than the long, 45-minute, hour-long videos that have to be edited and stuff like that.
Well, I sometimes just use StreamYard here, so yeah. I understand,
Yep. Yeah, and I love StreamYard too. I not a sponsor. But I actually might I might do it I might use that for the live build next week, because I think I don't know if we're going to broadcast it on both of our channels. I know I'm definitely going to put it on my channels. Yeah, we might just simultaneously broadcast. I'm not sure if you can do that through StreamYard or not. And broadcast out onto your channel. Can you do that? I don't know if you could do that.
So yes, you can stream to multiple channels.
Okay.
You just have to put all the info in, and you both have to be okay with the info being shared.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
It's if you pay for it, like if you pay for the service, you can do that. If you don't, and you're just using the free service, you only go to one space.
Yeah, no, I do have an account. It's actually one that my husband and I share, so I will probably use that for it, but I'll have to figure out all the technical stuff this weekend.
It's not hard. No, it's not hard at all. It's just information. That's the big key to that.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we'll figure that out. But yeah, my plan is to simultaneously broadcast, and my goal, hopefully in the next, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully in the next month and a half or so, you're going to be seeing more content from me on YouTube. It's just a matter of getting back into the swing of things, and there might be some big changes for me in terms of my full-time job and not having to work anymore. So if that's the case, YouTube's going to be sick of me, I think, at that point. I'm just going to be down here all the time. Yeah, I like being fancy, though. I like fancy. I you know what it is? Because Steam Geezer was the one that got me into building, and I've watched, I think, almost every video on his channel. I've just gotten used to that type of format. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, well, that's how I have to do my videos now. But you're right. I could absolutely do 2 to 3 minute build updates. But obviously, if you can't tell, 2 to 3 minutes for me it's going to be more like 10 to 15. I talk a little too much. Oh, the cough might, keep me from doing that.
You have to figure out your own thing, right? It's all a process at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yep. And then you got to find that sweet spot that everybody will watch the video too.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, that's important too. Making videos that are going to be, 2 hours long or even 45 minutes long. It's like your content better be good enough. Otherwise, people are going to watch maybe the first few minutes and be like, yeah, I'm kind of done. So I did have one video. This might be a fun segue, but I did have one video that I completed, and I had two cameras. I had my overhead camera, and then I had a camera in front of me. And I did the build. I had no idea that my overhead camera stopped working because apparently the battery in it died. So I only got about 3 minutes of filming. So the only camera that the only camera that I had was the one in front of me. And I decided if I posted that video, it would get yoinked from YouTube. So that project is never going to be seen at all. Sorry about the cough, guys. But yeah, because it's pretty much the model, but it's not all of me. It's just part of me. And yeah, that would be bad. So no one's going to see that one ever. I think I even deleted most of the footage. So it's a bummer. I'm just looking at the comment there. Talking of his wife doing an interview?
I don't know. I click it to make it bigger. Make sure I read it right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I would love to see more females, you know, be more out there with their builds. And there definitely are some, but I know that there's a lot of wives of builders who have Facebook accounts who just won't post pictures. And it makes me sad.
Now, why is that?
Why does it make me sad? Because I still feel that, obviously, you know, like I said earlier, I feel like I'm a little fish in a big pond. And it's not just about me, because I know that there are other women in this hobby who are doing their thing and making amazing, you know, amazing builds, like Amy Wright. She builds the most amazing big rigs, and that's all she does is big rigs because she loves them. And I hope one day I'll be as good as her. And she does post things, and she admins groups, and she's incredible. But I also know that there are a lot of folks whose wives, partners, girlfriends, whatever, significant others, build models, and they don't necessarily want to post because of potential feedback or creepy people sending messages, things like that. It's very tough. Yeah, and I think we talked about this a year and a half ago. It is very, very tough to be a female builder in this hobby, in a hobby that's mostly male dominated. Yeah, exactly. I would love to be able to, you know, see more women, you know, involved in the hobby. It would be so much more fun. But you know, right now I'm just going to kind of be the one that's loud and obnoxious about it. And hopefully it encourages more women to be out there and showcase their builds and show that we're just as capable of putting together a model kit and enjoying the hobby with everybody else, you know, with all the other guys. Fingers crossed that'll happen one day. But in the meantime,
we're going to bring this topic up, and you kind of know some of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason a lot of women don't post is because of the negative feedback.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And it's a bunch of crap, in my opinion. It's I've seen how people talk to you online.
Yeah.
And that's the reason people aren't doing videos.
Yeah.
It's literally a bunch of crap. It's
true. And, you know, and I have to laugh because, you know, like I was saying before we went live, the whole bunny kitten thing, the goggles and the hair and the corset, it's all a character. It is just something that makes me more comfortable, you know, producing content and taking photos and posting them online of my builds, because I can hide behind that character. And I could be snarky and witty and funny and throw shade back to anybody, but I can do that not every woman can. And yeah, the negative feedback is sometimes it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. It is definitely, you know, I will say when I post my builds just as they are, like here's a picture of my Jeep outside in my backyard. Here's my tank going over a little tiny rock. Those those kind of things. I do get a lot of really good feedback, which is great. However, the second we attach a body to it, we attach a face to it, it takes on a completely different meaning. And they're
and that's 3/4 of the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys just I don't know what it makes it seem okay for them to do that. I mean, it is the internet for all things, but you know, why should women have to put up with that?
Well, here's the thing. When you're behind a keyboard, you have this shield in front of you. This is my theory anyways. You have the shield in front of you, which allows you to say what you want to say, throw it out there, and then when you're done, you can close your screen, you can exit out of the app, you can turn off your phone or your tablet or whatever, and you could be done. So it allows people who are shy, you know, naturally shy, or for lack of a better term, it's going to sound cruel, socially inept, to be able to get their opinions out there and feel there's no consequence to that. Now, in my case, and you know, I mean, we're in a lot of the same groups together. When Selfie with a Model, Selfie with a Model Saturday or Selfie with a Model Sunday comes up, I always give it my all. And I do this for a couple of reasons. The first one is it's not a cry for attention. It is not a cry for, hey, look at me, I'm female, look at me. And it's not that at all. I could care less about that. I don't need the attention. I don't need a new boyfriend. I'm not looking to replace my husband anytime soon. I do it to make people aware of, hey, I'm female and this is my build. And there are other females out there too. So I'm kind of looking past the sea of men, and I'm looking for that one female who's in the back corner who's going, oh, I don't know if I should post this build I just did or not. So that's why I do it. And yeah, I can absolutely 100%, you know, dish it out as much as I can take it in terms of the snarky comments. So again, that doesn't bother me. It's when people try to, you know, to use the hip lingo of the youth, slide into my DMs. That's when I have a problem, and I will call people out on it. And that usually leads to people getting banned and booted from groups because the behavior is inappropriate.
Well, I mean, that's not even the Facebook side of it. I was just mostly talking about the Instagram and the YouTube. The Facebook side of it is a completely different story.
Yep.
And, you know.
Well, typically most of the folks on YouTube, most of the folks on YouTube are usually people that I already know. It's folks who are watching this video right now. It's folks who are already subscribed to your channel. So I don't really see it too much on YouTube. And if there are comments on there, I must have missed them. Instagram, I think lately, the only comments that I've gotten that I just have had to say something or do something about are in regards to this fundraiser. But other than that, I think the last time somebody tried to criticize me on YouTube, or not, I'm sorry, not YouTube, on Instagram, was when I posted a picture of the little hand drill that someone was kind enough to send me when I first started building. And apparently the picture that I took and posted, I was told I wasn't a serious modeler. To which my partner was kind enough to recreate the same photo. So, and it's just a picture of the, I just gotten home from work. So I was still all dressed up from work, and I had just put the hand drill on my legs, and I still had my shoes on, took a photo. He recreated that photo as well. And I think he's pretty serious. He's got a decent YouTube channel and he does amazing work. So, you know, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty sad how sometimes you get treated online, and and I know that's why women don't post as much as they would like. I know that's the reason. Mm-hmm. And I wish we'd all just grow up and be normal.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I appreciate the compliments. The unsolicited advice on the manner in which I take my photos isn't exactly welcome, but cool. You want to voice your opinion. Good for you. That's one of the joys of living in this country. You have your opinion. To which I always say, I respect your opinion, even though it's wrong. So yeah, I take it for what it is. I know that I'm putting myself out there, in the line of fire sometimes with some of the stuff that I post. And you know what? It's fine, because I know the people that actually know me, know who I am, know how much I like to build, are appreciative of, my feedback and my encouragement. And I just ask for the same in return. So if people want to criticize me, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not doing this hobby for them.
So let's move to the next topic.
Yes.
What are you building now?
That is a good question. Well, by build, if you mean I have a box open and haven't started it yet.
Okay, that just means you're a modeler. So
yeah, I know. Okay. See, look, I'm literally bringing the box into camera. Let me turn.
Oh, that looks like the one Mark's doing. Okay, that's cool.
Hold on, wait for it. It's going to be awesome. Let me take the box thingy down and make sure I have it the right way. Whoop, there we go. That's what I'm building. So,
that's cool.
Oh, there we go. I really got to get this whole camera thing. There we go. Thanks. So that's what I'm starting to build. I actually promised Joe Fritz that I was going to start a big rig a long time ago. And then I went and built a tank and a Jeep and a motorcycle and a London cab. So now I'm finally I just have to look at my shelves over here. Now I'm finally getting to the truck. And I'm excited for it. It is a little overwhelming. But the kit was gifted to me a little over a year and a half ago, because I said I hadn't tried to build a truck yet. So another modeler was like, "Oh, I bought a whole bunch of these." I think he bought that at Ollie's. And so he sent me one because he bought like 6 of them. So I'm finally getting around to building it. And after that, my stash has been growing quite a bit. A local guy was selling some kits, so I went over and drove over to his house and bought a bunch there. But yeah, I think I'm now officially a modeler because I have a stash and I have a box open that I've been staring at for weeks. So that's what I'm going to be building next. And obviously next week I'll be building this guy. So that's cool. What I'm doing. What are you working on? Oh yeah, I'll get the Jeep. Hang on, I'll be right back. And by right back, I mean I'm just taking like 2 steps over here. These straps are not being my friend. There's my Jeep. Little Rubicon. I actually started painting this. Ooh, apparently though I knocked this part off while I took it down. So I'll have to fix that. But my daughter is slowly she's staying off screen. Yes, I'm live, Ro. Hi, what do you need? Oh, nothing. You just came down to say hi. Okay. Well, my daughter just made a cameo. Over there. What do you need, Ro? Okay. All right. Well, go lie down. I'll be right up. Okay, there we go. So my first car that I ever drove, or whatever vehicle I ever drove, was a 97 Jeep Wrangler. And I loved it. But it was definitely not well loved from the previous owners. So I learned to do a lot of vehicle repair myself. So it had a broken bolt in the manifold, which caused a minor exhaust leak. So I had a manifold gasket I had to learn to replace every 4 to 6 months or so, because I couldn't get the bolt out. What else have I done? Pretty much the whole exhaust system. Replace the catalytic converter, replace brake lines. It's been it was a fun time. And when you're broke, you got to learn to make these repairs yourself, which is why the bolt never got fixed. And we tried drilling it out and stuff like that. It just never happened. So eventually the Jeep went its lonely way into a graveyard somewhere. But I tried to paint it, with, to look like the one I used to drive. So that's my Jeep.
Well, I mean, that's cool. So is that one of your favorite builds to date so far?
It is. It absolutely is. And it's going to sound weird. I think it's because it only has a windshield. I think my biggest Achilles heel so far with almost every build I've done are windows, windshields, back windows, the whole thing. Because I still have yet to master patience. And, the phrase "a little dab will do you," because I get a little crazy with the glue. So I'm getting better, but I ended up really screwing up my London cab quite a bit. So the back window anyways, and then the dog barked and I jumped, and then the side window, it was a mess. So like part of me is like, I should just get rid of them and make my own windows, which I might still do. But that is definitely my favorite build to date. Actually, my little Honda Monkey, I think, is another one too. I think that one's kind of cute too. Clear nail polish. Okay.
I mean, I know your pain, but I use this stuff. Canopy glue.
Okay.
I love that stuff. I haven't had near as much problems with doing glass with that.
Okay. I'll have to look into that. I don't think where do you buy that? Is it just Hobby Store or?
That's Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
But I don't know if they'll have it now, but because at least the one by me stopped doing the evergreen styrene there. They went to that aftermarket crap. So
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to look it up and see where I can find it. The nearest Hobby Lobby to me is, I think, over an hour away. So I usually I like to shop local anyways. So I'll go to around the corner to my local hobby shop and buy stuff there when I can. I don't think they have that though, so I might have to look for that online, because not really digging the hour drive, especially in the winter in New England, in January. Although we haven't had much snow, so I can't really complain this winter.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we cover all the topics that you had on your agenda for this today.
I think so. Really, it was more about just trying to promote this fundraiser and talk about Models for Heroes and make people aware that it exists. And I would since it doesn't seem that there's an American equivalent to the to Models for Heroes. I wish I was able to start one. I just wouldn't know where to start. I would definitely need the help of a whole bunch of builders to help me make this happen. But in the meantime, it's just to let people know that the fundraiser is going on. I'm actually southeastern Connecticut. I am right on the shoreline. I'm about 15 minutes from Mystic, 20 minutes from Rhode Island. I'm just reading the comment here. Best I found for windows is 5-minute epoxy or clear Gorilla Glue. I've been afraid to try Gorilla Glue on windshields, but I might have to very carefully try that. But
there's actually starting to a lot of people from the New England area are starting to pop up on YouTube now.
Yeah, which
It
is
seems
great.
like the hobby's picking up pace up there. At least that's what I've kind of noticed in the last year or so.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you, which is nice. I have a couple of friends like right here in the same county that I'm friends with on Facebook that I met through model building groups. And yeah, I'm starting to find people in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, and it would be cool to try and get a New England, I like meetups, but maybe find a central location in New England we can all meet up and, just talk models. That would be kind of cool.
Not Gorilla Super Glue. That is different.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I have both. I have regular, and because for my other endeavor on the side, I have all the glues. I just haven't moved them from the room behind this wall to this room. So I like to keep them very separate. But yeah, like I said, Models for Heroes is a great organization. For anyone that is able to contribute, I would be totally grateful. And I wish you best of luck in the drawing that we'll do next week. And definitely, I do have also a Facebook page, and I'll send you the link for that as well, specifically for the fundraising page that we're doing, so you can get the announcement of when we do the live stream. And I'll post it in both Greenwich Mean Time as well as at least Eastern Standard Time, so that people don't get the time change confused. But feel free to join us for the live stream, even if you don't donate, just to kind of watch the craziness of an American and a British guy building something and not trying to kill each other. That's pretty much what we tell each other by the end. So
Rick, I guess there is a couple of modeling clubs in the New England area.
Yeah, I'll have to look. Oh, Classic Plastic I have heard of. I haven't actually joined any model clubs in Connecticut yet. I think I'm totally fine behind, a computer screen and I'm behind a phone. In person, I might be a little, but I am going to be volunteering at NNL East in, I think it's April, in New Jersey. So I will be there as a happy volunteer. So if anyone's coming down for that, or coming up for that, or traveling east for that.
That's in what, New Jersey, right?
Yeah, New Jersey. Yep, in Wayne, New Jersey.
You're probably going to meet Cliff, Frizzo. Trying to think of a couple other people I know that head up that way. They got a whole little group that travels. So
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I've only been to one other model show. And that was in the UK. It was a small model show, but obviously UK model shows, I'm assuming, are going to be a lot different than US model shows, in that there are very few cars in the UK. It's mostly planes and boats, an occasional car, an occasional figurine. But other than that, it's mostly planes and boats. I think it's going to be a little different here. But it'll be fun to do. I normally don't go to, conventions or events. I usually work them. So that's just kind of my thing. So you'll probably find me volunteering somewhere at some point. So if you see me, feel free to come up and say hi.
Remember what you ask for when you say that stuff like that.
I just say hi. I said hi. Come up and say hi. Hi. That's it.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So we're about 50 minutes or so. Did you have any questions for me? And while you're thinking of those questions, send me the link to the page.
Let me messenger that over to you. Bear with me, multitasking and kind of failing. Pages. Oh, I managed too many pages. We're not going to do it that way. There we go. Nope, that's not it. I'm just going to go straight to my profile because it's going to be the easiest way to do it. Bear with me as I scroll through all my fun stuff here. I keep showing the link and not the Facebook page. I really should make that on top, but it is what it is.
Oh, scale model ninja. You're gonna be live in a couple hours, I think.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think he is in the UK.
Yay! Ooh, it's early there.
Yeah, super
Good
early.
morning.
So
Good morning.
yeah, that's another one of those guys from the UK that I'd love to get on because he does a lot of Warhammer stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, fun fact. Speaking of Warhammer, I don't know if you saw. You're in Herc's Model Works, right? Yeah. Are you? Yeah. Someone had posted maybe about a week or two ago about Warhammer figures, and I had commented Steam Geezer was actually used as the model for it was the Warhammer 3000. It was the something Warden. I can't remember what they're called now. That's going to bug me. But anyways, there's this whole promo thing that they did. The Imperial Knight Warden or something like that. But he was the model for that figurine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I'll send you the link for that too. All right, let me see. I finally found the thing. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it with you.
Oh, it's almost 3 a.m. in the UK. Holy, what time is
it now?
Oh, it's almost. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll send you the link for that just so you can see it. But yeah, you are up early. And I know this because I'm constantly going, okay, it's this time here. I have to add 5 hours. That's what time it is in the UK. But yeah, hey, we're having a model build meetup in St. Albans. I don't know where you are in the UK, but feel free to come by and join us. You can send me a message. That's next Tuesday, probably around 7-ish. I'm not 100% sure yet on the time. 7 p.m. their time. So yeah, so I just sent you the link for the event. I actually made it an event, which you are more than welcome to share. And yeah, but what are you working on? Because I know you do a lot of figures, right? For the most part, every time I see stuff.
For the most part, I mean, right now I've been working on Warhammer stuff.
Sweet.
I'm doing the Black Rifle model work. They're doing a Warhammer build.
Cool.
And then I think it's next month I'm going to be putting together a NASCAR build. Going to be doing that.
Cool.
I've got probably 4 or 5 figures that I got. The Predator I still need to finish. Mm-hmm. Next week I start like a cast resin figure that we're going to be working on.
Nice.
Like we're going to put it together this week live, and then next week we'll start painting it.
Awesome.
Yeah, other than that, I've been just trying to finish stuff. That's kind of what I've been kind of working on.
Yeah, I think there was one point where I might have been working on 2 kits at once for about 5 days. And then I was like, nope, can't do this. I got to work on one. That's it.
Everybody in the chat's going to say the same thing I am. You're a modeler.
I know. I know. And I know it's okay to work on more than one at a time. And I get that. But I have such a small, limited space. I mean, my space, I know it's very fisheye with the way that the camera is, but like, that's how much space I have is pretty much the width of my shoulders. That's how much space. So I can't really do more than one because stuff's just going to get everywhere. Plus, my big old floofy dog likes to hang out and sleep under my bench sometimes. And she's got this white, floofy, pretty tail. And when she gets anxious or excited and she wags her tail, it tends to grab stuff on the bench and then it ends up on the floor and then it gets crushed. So I kind of have to limit how much stuff I keep on here as much as I can. But yeah, well, on average, though, how many projects do you usually have going on at once?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so like model kit, I try not to have more than probably 2 or 3.
Okay.
But figures, that's a completely different story.
Yeah.
I could have anywhere between 5 and 100, depending on what they are.
That's impressive.
Well, I mean, some of the kits, they come in like a group of 100.
Mm-hmm.
Or you get 45 Space Marines, and then I'll just prime a bunch, and then they'll sit on the shelf till I figure out what color I'm going to put on them. It's, it's all a process pretty much. And then like I feel like painting one of them,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like doing stuff like this. This was actually a Halloween build. That was for a Halloween build.
I love it.
And that just took like an afternoon, and I painted one of them, and
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little I call it Alice in Wonderland, but it is what it looks like, but it's like half the size of that figure, and it goes right into the front of the base.
Oh, cool.
And I still haven't painted that yet for it.
So, all right. So here's a question for you. Since you paint little teeny tiny things with lots of detail, what do you have a specific like brand of brushes you use, or where do you get your brushes? Because that's what I'm finding as I'm painting more of these detailed figures, even just little teeny tiny ones. I'm finding that my brushes are all too fat, no matter how thin I get them. Or maybe I'm just bad at painting.
Believe it or not, the Walmart, their craft section,
mm-hmm.
They have like the packs. They've got they have all kinds of the generic just paintbrushes.
Okay.
Well, they have like a what do they call it? The detailed set.
Mm-hmm.
I have that.
Okay.
So the paint line that I use is Army Painter, and they have a bunch of like tips like that. There's some that are smaller.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit here and there. It's not, I don't spend a lot of money on that kind of stuff because I know I'm just going to go through it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense. I learned a lot from James Wapple, believe it or not. And he goes to the dollar store to buy his paintbrushes. So
nice.
I try to spend a little more than he does, but I still don't get the same quality he does with the cheaper product. I don't know.
Yeah, I went to my local hobby shop. I love them, but I spent a stupid amount on brushes there. And I still wasn't quite getting the detail I wanted. Then I went onto Amazon and I bought, it was like a pack of 30 of these that come in these nice little tubes, and they have a pretty small tip to them. But the problem is that the tip has a couple little extra hairs there. So I have to constantly trim them down before I start painting. Then I find I'm trimming them down too much because those little extra hairs, it makes the difference between a single eyebrow and a unibrow. And it's frustrating when you're trying to paint the Queen of England, and all of a sudden, between trying to paint eyebrows on her and lipstick, by the end, I looked at her and I went, oh my God, she looks like Phil Spector. This is not what this is supposed to look like.
That's funny.
So I was like, I got to start over again. But yeah, I think for me, it's just going to take a lot of practice. I have some women of World War II, little figures that I've started painting, and I've seen people do some incredible detail. And I'm like, I need to get a magnifying glass. I think that's what it is. I think I've just resorted to the fact that I have now had to go to progressive lenses because I'm 43 now and my eyes are just not what they used to be. And now I got to get a magnifying glass. I'm not proud of it.
That's what that white thing is back here.
Yeah, I know.
I just on it, so I can get really detailed onto it. It has a stand and everything. I don't use it a lot because I pretty much stopped doing the little figures, but
yeah,
since I got a 3D printer, I just print everything larger, so I don't have to deal with it.
Makes sense. That makes sense. That's going to be on my wish list at some point, is a 3D printer. So some point when I make my millions, I'll get my 3D printer, because then I won't have to work anymore and I can sit there and print stuff all day. But I feel like that's a rabbit hole I'm not ready to go down yet.
It's just as much of a hobby by itself as it is anything.
I know,
Right?
and I've looked at the sites and that have all these files that you can get, and so it's incredible. Actually, on my Facebook page, my regular profile, that mask that I'm wearing, that was 3D printed.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yep, you got that one too. Sweet. Yep.
So for mine, fit Jack. That's all I'm doing.
Yep. So that one, actually, it's funny because that one was actually Steam Geezer's mask. He made me one that's a little smaller for my face, but the one in my profile picture was his, so it's a little bigger. Mine fits fine, but he made me a bunch of masks to wear during COVID. So put a little protector in there, put a little mask underneath it, and then wore it and scared everyone in town walking around with that mask on. But
I'm not gonna lie, it made it going to the store a lot more fun with that thing.
I know. It is a lot more fun. I usually during the month of October, I'm usually wearing Halloween dresses the entire month. And so adding the masks to it on top of it really got a lot of attention. I scared many children. Many children.
Right?
And a couple of adults. But yeah, so one day this cough's going to go away and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, I'm not ready to do the 3D printing thing yet. So, oh, and I saw people joined. Hello, people. I saw hi from a couple of people.
Okay, I think let's try this.
What are we doing?
Let me see if I can get the link to work.
Okay.
Oh, that's not. Oh, maybe it's not going to do it.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, here we go.
Fingers crossed.
All right, that should work. It at least gets you to the right page, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I don't know. Someone will say in a minute. So do you have any other more questions for me?
Let's see. Well, I guess one thing, and I think we talked about this a little briefly before we went live. So what do you have planned for 2023, since we're at the beginning of the year, in terms of your channel? And obviously you talked about, what you're going to be working on project wise. Anything super amazing you got going?
It's not channel related, but I'm going to try to do a bunch of traveling this summer. We were going to do it last summer and it just didn't work with gas prices the way they were.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to, I think we're going to definitely, we're going to Seattle, and I don't know if we'll hit another town after that, but model related, I'm going to be, I have a file for a 3D printed truck. I just have to buy the body for it. And I want to try to print that out. Just being out here in the garage, it's not warm enough yet for it to do a resin kit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big goal. I want to try to print out a car.
Cool.
And do that.
I think you can do it.
Well, I mean, I have two completely different types of printers, so I know I can. Some stuff I might have to print out on the PLA stuff, but stuff I don't really care if it gets shown or not. But I want to try to do like a 1/6 scale size. So we'll see what happens. That's the goal anyway.
That's awesome. So what kind of printers do you have?
I have the Anycubic Photon.
Okay.
I have the Anycubic Photon S. And then I have the Creality version 2.
Cool. Cool.
So it's enough to keep me occupied and out of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I'm hoping at some point, because it's a project that I started and I started drafting it, and then my side business started taking off. But I have behind this wall here, I have a glow forge, and my goal was last year was to make a universal paint stand, so that you would buy a basic base, yeah, you buy a base for it, that would be a universal size, and then it would have basically cartridges that would fit in it. So if you had, a bunch of Tamiya paints, and then you had a bunch of Testors paints, and then you had a bunch of Humbrol paints or whatever, you can buy the basically the cartridges that can go in that same base that you buy, so you can constantly change it all the time. And I know that there are a ton of paint stands out there already, but a lot of them seem to be geared specifically for a specific paint size, or a paint brand. This one, you could, if you have a mixture of everything, you can put it all on one stand. And if you have a lot of paints, you might have to buy two. But then it would also have a little storage section for your brushes and thinner and anything else. So I want to get back into trying to create that as well. It's just I get a little intimidated when I have to sit down and try and design it from square one, and then draw it out, and then hope I drew it right. And it's going to take a lot of testing, and I'm going to use a lot of cardboard playing around with it. But that's my goal.
Why cardboard?
To test it, so I'm not wasting wood. So you could take.
I mean, you're wait, time out. So you're going to take a laser,
yeah,
and put cardboard to test it out.
Yep.
Does that even work?
It does. It does. I actually made a pair of butterfly wings for my cousin's daughter for her 3rd birthday. If you use corrugated cardboard and you have the power setting and the speed setting done just right, you can actually cut cardboard and not have it completely catch on fire. I could do paper too, cardstock. Yep. I've engraved on cardstock before. It's a cool machine. So.
And there's a reason that machine's what, like $4,000, right? It's not a very cheap piece of equipment. I do know.
I think it's up to 7 now. When I bought mine, it was $5,900. And there's an air filter attachment you can buy for it that's $1,000. We chose not to go that route, and we have it. There's only one window in the room behind me, so it vents through that window. We haven't installed a like an actual like wall vent or anything like that, because the goal is for me to actually have my own little she shed, and that's where I'm going to do all my model building and do my glow forging and all that other stuff. But again, maybe later this year, not right now, but soon. But yeah, it does do cardboard. You just have to be very, very careful. But the wings that I made for my cousin's daughter look beautiful. I put colored cellophane between the 2 sheets. And yeah, it came out really, really cute. She ran around the house with it for like a week solid. So, and then, she's 3. So, eventually it got trampled. But it was good for that week.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have any other questions for me?
I don't think I do. I just appreciate you, like I said, fitting me in on such short notice to go, hey, I want to talk about this thing. And working with my schedule and stuff like that. So I just appreciate being back on here again. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Today was going to pretty much be it, unless we did it earlier in the week, but because I've got a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. No, I get it. I do too. I have to make sure the house is all completely in order, because Monday afternoon I'm making my trek up to Boston to fly out of there. So I plan on having the house nice and pretty and clean. And when I come back, I know it's not going to be like that. But at least I know I left the house clean. We'll see what happens after that. Actually, my husband and my daughter have gotten into playing Fortnite. So they might just end up gaming the whole week after school. So we'll try that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Glad we were able to make this work. And I will talk to you in a couple minutes, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye-bye. So that was Amy again. I know we hit kind of a bunch of topics. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be another Meet the Modeler. It's going to be Donut Space Nut is the YouTube channel. So I will see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be normal time, so I will see you guys later. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye.